with you. And you know what I find fascinating is that being human beings and this fascinating mechanism that we are, we don't really come with a repair kit. There's really nothing that tells us how we should heal if we've suffered a setback or a heartbreak or a disappointment. There's really nothing on that. There's no guide that tells us how we should carry on, or perhaps there is. See, like so many of you, I identify as an overachiever, which means I pour my heart, soul, and my mind into every single thing that I do. I show up, come hell, come high water. I am there 100%, giving it my all. And this leads me into some really interesting situations. First story is from the time when I was 19 years old. I had been working unpaid at an internship for some time. And I was overjoyed when they told me that they wanted to bring me on for the summer as a paid intern. And this was a coveted position. I was so thrilled. And I did not take this opportunity for granted. I brought my A game every single day. Came in early, left late. I did my very best to deliver top results. Things were going very well until one day it turned out that a project that I had been working on didn't go as well as we had planned. There was some kind of a hiccup or an error, and I was absolutely crushed and devastated. I put so much pressure on myself, and I was feeling like beating myself up over it. As I'm listening to this update, I'm soaking in all this information, I noticed the world around me started to get dark, and didn't know what was going on, but I just remember opening my eyes the next minute and there were people hovering over me, calling my name. And of course, in the state of panic, I didn't know what was going on. I was rushed to emerge. In the emergency room, the attending physician told me that I had stopped breathing. You know, I just held my breath as I listened to this update. And because my body wasn't oxygenated, I collapsed. He told me that I needed to be kinder to myself. I needed to go easy on myself. And of course, I promised him that I would. Gathered all my stuff, went back home, told my mom what had happened. And I was wondering if I should take the rest of the summer off, if I should, just chill and find myself like so many other young people that age do. And my mom told me to march back into that internship and finish it and see to the end. I had a couple more weeks to go. And I'm so glad she did, because that was the defining moment in my trajectory. It really helped me secure the funds that I needed for university. But I took away another really important lesson that day, and it was this. Rest is for the weak. Being strong means to slug it out. Being strong means to push through and overcome and, continue and run that marathon and continue that race. And that is something that became deeply embedded into my own mental blueprint, and it's something I carried well into adulthood. I did everything I could to hit all the check marks, and despite all these superficial successes and accomplishments, I could tell that my body was crying for help. I needed to kind of slow down. I didn't really listen to those signals. I had a wake-up call though one day. I had a major health scare earlier this year, and it really forced me to reevaluate my life and consider it a different lane, and be more introspective and mindful about how I was treating myself. So, this is what led me into the healing work. And one source of inspiration that I kind of borrow from is the fighter's corner, right? We've all seen that boxing match, right? They're going at it, and this fighter has been pummeled to the ground, like he's crushed and might have some broken bones or something, and he's sitting in his little corner, and all of a sudden he's back in the ring, like he's back in the fight, and you're like, how did that happen, right? But as I started to evaluate those moments between his fall and his reemergence, there was something critical that happened in between. In the fighter's corner, his squad has given him electrolytes. They've massaged his shoulders, they've wiped away the blood, sweat, and tears. So he's had those micro moments of rest, and sometimes those moments are so critical. because a lot of us, we don't have the luxury of an eat, pray, love style long-term hiatus. We don't get to just pack up our lives and leave, right? There's so many people counting on us, whether it's our employees, whether it's our families, whether it's our customers. You know, people need us, and we don't necessarily have the luxury of just taking that time, right? And so as we are dealing with one shock and trauma, we are often assaulted with another shock and trauma, and maybe a tragedy that we come across, or a microaggression, and we are dealing with that simultaneously. And so I take sanctuary and micro rituals in these moments as a means of healing, as a means of getting me to the next day, to the next week, to the next year. Yes, absolutely, that deep work is so important, right? And we should all be working with therapists or whatever you need to do, but micro rituals can be that daily hygiene, sort of like brushing our teeth, right? Rather than waiting 6 months to see a dentist for healthy teeth, we have to do some of the work ourselves. And I believe that micro rituals are that really important tool. So, is a problem that we don't have rituals in place? No, I don't think that's the case. I think that a lot of us have a lot of deeply embedded rituals in place. It just may be the case that those are not the most healing or nourishing rituals that empower us. So let me share an example, right? I noticed that when I was tucking my kids into bed, I would finally find some reprieve in my bed. I would pull out my phone and go on Instagram, right? And watch the highlight reels of other people's lives, living so successfully and so eating so well and working out and being on the best vacation and being, the most in love. And so it was just the people's dream lives, right? Being sort of catapulted onto my screen. And I was going to sleep with this comparison wheel in my head, waking up the next day wondering why I wasn't, doing enough, or wasn't being enough, or wasn't feeling enough. And this toxic cycle sort of had to end. And so I invite each of us, as we go into 2022, to invest in our rituals and replace our damaging rituals with ones that are healing and nourishing for our bodies and souls and minds. So how do we get here? How do we get to these beautiful rituals, given that we are such different individuals with different needs and preferences and ideas of what makes us light up? I'm going to share with you the secret sauce that helps me locate my rituals and helps me locate them for my friends. So the first place that I tap into is our ancestral wisdom. I believe the men and women that came before us had such a beautiful connection to nature, to their communities, and they had figured this out. So I invite you to go back and see how your ancestors took the time to heal. Was it through song and dance? Was it through music? Was it, beautiful hair rituals that often women engaged in as a community? In my particular case, being South Asian, I, love the notion of a scalp massage. It's kind of a moment that connects generations, and so we can sit in perfect silence during those moments, experience a massage and just the presence of each other's being, or we can use that as an opportunity to pass down wisdom throughout generations. And I built an entire company around this, guys. I'm the founder of Glow Ritual, which harnesses the power of nature and botanicals to heal our hair, our minds, and detoxify our spirits. And so I invite you to connect with us, actually follow along. Another source that I tap into, the second source, is this idea of happy triggers. So we all know what it's like to be triggered, right? We know them in a negative context, and so we know what it feels like when there's stimulus and it makes us react a certain way. Maybe it makes us agitated or angry or sad or whatever, fearful, whatever that may be. But what if we were to take that idea and re-engineer it to make it a source of healing? So I'll give you an example. I was in a particularly challenging situation, a lot of pressure with this particular project that I was on, and I started to surround myself with beautiful pictures of my children's art. I brought in really lovely candles. I brought in little quirky, beautiful things and created a little sanctuary around myself, right? And did this make, my situation any less harder? Not necessarily, but it made it easier for me to sort of deliver and to show up for myself, to show up for others. And that is how I created positive triggers for myself. So I invite us to investigate what your positive triggers look like, right? And yeah, please share them with me. Investigate. It's definitely worth it. And it's going to be simple things. It's not anything complicated at all. The third exercise that I invite you to do now is take a heart audit with me. And you will place your hand on your heart. And you may close your eyes if you need to, if it helps. And we're going to go deep a little bit. I want you to try and connect with this inner little girl and find her, right? Just take a moment to assess how she might be feeling. What is she feeling in this moment? And when you find her, ask her this question. What do you need? How can I help you? It'll take a few seconds, perhaps a few minutes, to get that answer, but it will come. And we need to listen. The second step is to listen without any judgment, without any adult filters, and let that voice guide us into our healing, into our rituals. And once you've done that, once you figure out what it is, it could be something as simple as I need a hug, I need a nutritious meal, maybe I need a warm soak, whatever that looks like. I want you to indulge, right? I want you to celebrate. That's the last step. Oh my gosh, take a moment to celebrate yourselves right now. If you are here at the summit, you're already so accomplished. You are investing in yourself, you're investing in your community, you are investing in your knowledge base and your connection. Oh my gosh, that is so powerful. If you are here, you have overcome everything that 2020 and 2021 has brought us, and you are still standing, girl. You are still here, and you need to applaud yourself. So as we go into 2022, I want us to take this idea of celebration. I want 2022 to be a celebration of everything you've overcome in 2020 and 2021. So let that be our code word going into the next year. So I'm so grateful that you're all here because I think this work of healing and healing ourselves through rituals is so powerful, and I believe that healing is generational wealth. We speak of generational wealth in terms of monetary terms, but I believe that healing can be incredibly powerful for people. What if our children could bounce back after they were put down? What if our children could find that sense of self-worth from within themselves, empowered by their rituals? What if they didn't need external sources of validation? How powerful of a generation would that be? So if you recall, at the beginning, I asked the question if human beings come with a guide. I believe that these rituals, micro rituals in particular, can act as a manual of ourselves. This is how we keep ourselves optimized. This is how we repair ourselves when we are feeling a little broken. And I believe that they can be a really powerful tool in helping us optimize and live our best life. So I invite you to live your best life in 2022. Make micro rituals a part of your well-being toolkit. I invite you to stay connected with us on Instagram. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Casey, and all the best to you in this coming year.
Woo! Y'all, it was the what ifs at the end for me. It was the what ifs at the end for me. What if our children knew how to heal, right? What if our children felt good and free? Man, it was the what ifs for me, Samira. I want to hold space because we have about 14 minutes before. I know, I know. Nina's crying, Raven's crying. I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know what you're feeling, and it could be you too, Samir. But raise your hands. I want to hear your reactions. Raven, I would love to hear from you, Mama, too. But I'm watching the raise hands button. For those of you who are new, it's the hand at the bottom of the screen. Just hit that, and I'll pull you up. But what are your reactions to this? Samira said, close your eyes and find a little girl. She said, find her. Like, that was deep because we buried her under a whole lot of stuff, y'all. She said, find her. And once you find her, bars. Samira's coming up, y'all. And then Michelle is going to come up. Beautiful. Woo, my heart is full. Raven's coming up after that. Hey, Samira.
Hi, my camera just seemed to be working. Oh, wait, I can turn it on. There we go.
See you, Mama.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was really taken by all the comments and the kind words. I'm a very private person, and I think, Casey, you created a space where I could share that. So thank you. I've never shared a lot of this. I hid the speech from my husband. He hasn't even seen this talk. Like, I am very guarded, and I think this is a group that made me feel like I could come out and share those vulnerable parts of myself. So that's all I wanted to say. But I look forward to all the comments.
You have us crying, Samira.
Oh, I've done my fair share of crying. There's some powerful women here. Let me tell you. I'm here as an observer. You guys.
You're here as incredible. A giver. You're giving from your overflow, and we are so grateful. Please keep going. Please keep going. Please keep going at your pace. Success is whatever fulfillment and freedom looks like for you, but please keep going because your gift is huge. I'm gonna be chewing on this all month, to be honest. I mean, you said so much about ancestral strength and power and teachings and lessons and what if for the kids and finding my little girl. I mean, I'm gonna chew on this all month long. So thank you so much, Mama, and receive all of this love you're getting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think for me, like, I was almost taught to look down at some other practices. You know what I mean? I had to do a lot of unlearning myself. And in that process, I realized I was denying myself a lot of healing and a lot of goodness. So yeah, that's where I was coming from. But thank you, Casey. I'm gonna hop off.
All right. Thank you. Good to see you. Woo, Michelle, I'm bringing you up. We're sharing our reactions, everyone. So feel free to raise your hand and you can come up. We want to hear what you're feeling.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle. We hear you.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I don't know how to show my picture on here, so I'm sorry.
No worries.
But anyway, when she said to reach down to that little girl, I pushed her so far back till I had to go so deep, and it hurt to realize that I've been blocking her for so long, that I've been hiding from her. And each time I try to complete something, she comes back and I keep pushing her away. So this told me I need to let her out. I need to let her out so she could heal. Oh my God.
Yep.
I struggle so much. I'm still struggling. And like, I'm private. I call myself a true introvert because I hide. I'm so afraid of success till it's scary.
Yeah.
I feel like if I move forward, I'm just waiting for that one more shoe to drop. Yeah. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh God.
Yeah, everything you are saying is right on point. Like, we buried her to protect her. You know,
yes.
That's the only way we knew to protect her is to bury her, right?
Yes.
And that's why we're crying with you. That's why Samira is crying, because you're right. Like, to realize how far we stuffed her down and how we keep pushing her, but how she never goes away. It's like, I put you down. Like, like I feel you. It's just like I feel you.
I let her down. Her down, but I need to let her come through. So I could heal. This is so awesome. Oh my God. Thank you.
That was powerful. Thank you, Michelle. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of us for uttering these things with our lips, right? Because we haven't seen this before, right? We didn't see our matriarchs do it, but we have each other. The theme of this summit is "Let Me Hold Your Hand," and that's exactly what we're doing. And we're gonna keep holding on. I mean that 100%, and a whole bunch of other sisters do too. So we got each other, y'all. We got each other. Raven, I'm pulling you up, Mama. Want to hear your reactions and your thoughts. Love your chats in the comment.
Hello.
Hey, Mama.
Hey. I guess it was the part where she said about generational wealth that just really, really touched me, because I know, like, right now in our community, everybody's generational wealth is a big topic. And it's always attached to currency. And that's something I struggle with so bad, just for the fact of that I wasn't raised in a household even taught about wealth, but also that I personally feel like, I went to college and I went to the military to have this very stable life. And now I have children and I'm not stable. And it makes me feel like I'm feeling like, because I have to carry so much, I have to carry their father's load, my load, and then my children have, my daughter has allergies, my son has autism, so I don't even send them to school. It's just like I stopped my whole life to give them something I never had, because my mom sent me away. She worked endlessly for me. She's still working, and I still don't have nothing that she passed to me. So it's like I didn't even have a parent because she worked all the time. Now I am a parent, but I don't have the money. And it makes me feel like I'm really failing. But to hear her say, like, if you're healing, you're doing the work.
Say that.
It's affirming, because, like, I'm such a good mom.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
My kids, like, don't know what I've ever been through. Like, I do not pop them. I don't yell. Like, outside, I get on their level, and I advocate for that so much in our community. Like, that's the whole point of me doing what I do, so people won't be like me, because I felt like I was fucked up. I felt like I was messed up because I had a bad childhood. So I'm so serious about not messing up my kids' childhood, letting them understand that they're their own person. But hearing her say that, like, you're still passing down generational wealth, it just made me feel like I'm doing it, like I'm still doing it. Like, my bank account might be in the negative and I might be struggling to pay my bills, but my babies, they don't have to worry about being afraid of me, and they don't leave, and they can be themselves, and they can explore, and they don't have no pressure. Like, that really affirmed me so much.
Raven, like, baby, and the chat is going off for you. Like, you are doing it. Your life is rich. You are, like, all of us are crying because we stuffed down the little girls inside of us to protect her. And what you are doing is making sure your children don't have to experience that your children don't have to run and play small and shrink until they can't feel themselves anymore. I think, Raven, like, you're right. Like, especially in the US, or honestly, every colonized place in the earth, right? Every colonized place in the earth, we're taught that capitalism is king, and economies are built on our backs. So we're coveting people who are still benefiting off of slavery, off of free labor, off of bridges and roads and buildings that were built for free. You know what I'm saying? Off of cities that were built for free, and we're coveting that, but they're living off of our ancestors' work, right? So I just have to say, y'all, like, that is nothing to desire. What we should desire is being able to live in freedom. The earth grows what we need. The sky rains what we need. We are born with love. We are born with power. We are born with creativity. We are born with purpose. And when we get back to our ancestral roots, like Samara is talking about, when we pour love into our children and make sure they feel safe, like Raven is talking about, we are rich, and the other stuff will come. Promise you that. because the universe provides, God provides. But yeah, we healing some things. The colonialism, colonized mindsets is one of them, right?
It's so hard to colonize myself. I'm like, you don't even make $20 an hour and you've been working since you was 19. You're 65. Like, and I can paint some art and sell it for the same thing you made. Like, but because it looks so different, you will throw it to the side so fast. Like, you're not working. This generation lazy. Y'all don't want to. And it's just like, you don't even know. Because you don't even know it from you. Like, you didn't even get to have a mom. You was a sharecropper as a child. Like, what type of damn child is that? Like, it's just like so unfair that capitalism steals our parents and our childhood. And we just sit here and have to figure it out. That's why I'm thankful for the group, because you don't have to do it alone. Like, I did alone with so many. Since I was a kid, I've been doing it alone. I feel like Matilda. Like, I really feel like I raised myself. And that's why I love it so much, because I feel like it's one time where I can just be a little girl and you kind of take care of me. And I don't have to be a big girl. Like, I get to be the kid I never got to be. I never got to grow up.
Yeah. And I'm gonna keep holding on to you. I'm not gonna let you go. I love you deep, Raven. And you always have me. And I'm gonna make sure you have a tribe of other people too. This is real, y'all. Like, I know y'all know this because y'all are coming on the stage. This is real, right? And we don't have to wait for permission from the colonizer. We create the space. And as we go higher and get more space, we have more to give up. That's what I'm doing every day. The more space I get, the more I give it up, right? We don't have to wait for them to give it to us. Let's do it together. Raven, I love you deep, baby. I got you. We got you. Thank you so much for sharing, Mama. All right, y'all. I'm going to bring up one last person. We have about 90 seconds. So Keisha, Miss Top 3 herself, she's coming to the stage. Keisha, we want to hear your reactions.
Hi. Yeah, I guess just the talk about like your ancestral rituals just really struck a chord with me, because I've been doing like a lot of research into my family history and hitting a lot of blocks because of slavery and colonization. And it just has been making me very angry because I felt like my ancestors were taken from me. And, and just reading the chat and listening further and then thinking more about, like the culture that we've built in the US as Black people, it still has traces of our ancestors there. So it's not like they were gone. We just couldn't see them because our rituals they had to be changed. They had to be hidden. They were then, demonized or stereotyped or whatever, but it's still our ancestors trying to connect with us. And, so us looking back and finding that like is, I don't know. I mean, and then the little girl exercise, I saw, myself as a little girl, and then I, could see my ancestors coming back with me to help. And that was the most beautiful tie that I could see.
Ashe, thank you so much for sharing, Keisha. You just you will speak to yourself. In 6 months when we're doing this again, I want you on the stage. Love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Mama. Okay, y'all, we have to go over to Paquita's session, but before we go over there, I just want to say out loud what Paquita said. I'm going to show it on the stage. Raven, I hope you are looking. Dry your tears, Mama, so you can see this clearly. Squint your eyes if you have to. Paquita is sewing into your home, $1,500. She is sewing into your home, $1,500. When the village shows up, this is what happens, y'all. When the village shows up, we don't have to wait for venture capitalists out there. We don't got to beg white folk to see us and understand us. We don't have to spend our entire career trying to push diversity and inclusion just in case they get it within a 40-year time frame. Heaven is here. We are here. Power is here. Thank you so much, Paquita. That's what this is all about. Love and light. I'm going to see y'all on the other side. All right. I'll see y'all in the next workshop. Grab your pens and your papers. We have Paquita herself that is giving a workshop on strategizing to win. See y'all in a second. Love you.
A certified professional